Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Please have a seat. The light is really in my eyes. Okay, that's what I have to do. So, Assalamu alaikum again, and I'm here to say really a heartfelt thank you to all of you, because this organization is possible because of you. And I see in the audience some really good old friends, some friends who were here, were not there for a few years, they have come back, so welcome back. And others who are new to this organization, so I really thank you. I hope you guys enjoyed the dinner. And the dessert. So there's a story behind dessert. All the desserts today are homemade. So starting with the cookies, where's Polly? Oh, raise your hand. So Polly is a very old friend. I know her before, she's the only person that I know before Sonia was born. And she's a great cook, and she would make cookies, and Sonia and she would make cookies in Switzerland, Zurich, and sell them and raise funds for the school. So when Sonia died, Polly makes cookies for every event that we have. So they're very delicious, and please try them. Yeah. So it's called Sonia's Cookies. Then there's a cake there that nobody touched because it's too beautiful to be eaten, I guess. But it's a cake that one of our young ambassador, where's Angela? She's upstairs working. So she and her aunt has made this cake, which is in the logo of Sonia Shah, and it's very delicious. So she makes this out of this world cakes. So please do cut it and eat because it's too beautiful. People hesitate to eat. I will do that later on. And the third dessert is coming from my good friend Amber here. So she made this dessert. But you know, Amber is also a great supporter and donor. And I don't know if you know it, you were the very first donor who gave money to build the school. This was back in 2013 or 12. And she said, I want to build. So she started, and since then, she has been supporting us. So thank you for that. And there are many donors in this audience. Some of them have said their names should not be taken, so I won't take them. But because of them, we have major items in our school. And I'll show you in a while our water filtration plant, our computers, our smart boards, our construction that's happening. And if it was not for you guys, this would not have been happening. So today is really an evening of gratitude, reflection, and connections. And I thank you all for that. I'm going to show you a film that some of you have seen it a number of times, so apologies for that. But it's our tradition. We always show that film because it gives you the historic context around this organization. It shows you how Sonia started this. So I'm going to show you the film, and then I'll talk to you on the other side of the film. To the supporters and the donors, but also to the inner circle that we have. We have tons of volunteers. You've seen some young girls running around. They're called young ambassadors, and they will come and talk to you also. But it's all, the entire organization is run by volunteers. We do not have any full-time employee. And that's why over 90% of our funds goes directly to the girls. And therefore, this forum is set up so you can ask me questions. Because when you go to large organizations, you usually cannot ask questions. And also in our big event, it's hard to ask questions. So the smaller one, we do it so you can ask me anything you feel you need to ask. And this is the forum. So most of our volunteers do a lot of good work, day in and day out. Where's Monica? Is Monica here? Okay, Monica has been with us for a long time. Naz, where's Naz? Oh, Naz is there? Okay, she was here till late last night. But I do want to mention two people who have been with this organization from the day one, who came for the right reasons and stayed with the right intentions. And one is Manaz. Where's Manaz? Hey! So Manaz is someone who doesn't like glory or name. And she came to me when this started. And she came to me and said to me, Iram, you don't know me well, but I have been praying to God for a cause, and I think this is the cause. And I said, maybe this is a woman who just got inspired by an event, and I went for a lunch with her, and I kind of distanced myself. I'm like, okay. But in the last 5 years, she has not skipped a beat. She looks after their school, which is thousands of miles away. And it's not just she oversees. She reviews the budget. Any number you want to know where the money is being spent, she will tell you. She reviews every item on the expenses, and she will send me a text message कि बिजली का bill was 200 रुपए और इस महीने 250 है. ये 50 क्यों ज़्यादा हुआ है? I'm like, it's middle of the night, let me sleep, 50 rupees, we'll fight this battle tomorrow. So she reviews the budget, she looks at the expenses, she designs the uniform, she reviews the syllabus. Recently she asked them to send from all the way from Kangra 5 different sets of syllabus, because she wanted to review each one of them to decide which one should be used, because we're going from a public education to private. And I said to her, this is going to cost us some money. She said, no, but I do want to see it, and I want to make a decision. So, and it's because of her efforts that our school is one of the best schools, and you will see the video, the educational commissioner saying that our school is one of the best schools in that district, one of the top 3 schools. And this is the only school that has free uniform, free books. We have medical camp that we test children every year. We take their blood, we vaccination, eye test, everything we do. So the school that had started with only 20 kids, now we have over 200. This year we'll start with 200 kids. Out of that, 160 are girls. So I said there are 2 people that I wanted to honor, and one was Manaz, and the other one is Zafar Malik. Where is he? He's having dinner.
Food was too good. There he is. I thought food was too good. He's still eating.
Yeah. So Zafar, when Sonia passed away, there are certain memories that you never lose all your life, and they stay with you. And we were sitting at the kitchen table, and Zafar said to me, you cannot give up. This mission is too important. Because I wanted to go into a hole and cry. And he said, there's something very, very peculiar about this mission. I can feel it, and you can't give up. And since then, he has not given up on this organization. And we do give college scholarship here. There are 2 girls here who are recipients of college scholarship, Angela and Jalissa. And Zafar really oversees that program, from interviewing them, reading their essays, vetting them, sending letters to different schools for grants for these girls, setting criteria. So thank you for really being the friend. And like Manaz, he has not skipped a beat. Sometimes he's too busy, but he comes around. So thank you for these 2 people and all the volunteers. I mean, I cannot name all of them. As far as I'm concerned, I have ups and downs, and I will not be the first person who lost a loved one, and I will not be the last person to lose my child. I live in these 2 realms, and one realm is where I feel that I do not resist breaking. Because when you resist breaking, you really break. So I do not resist breaking, but I really seek to be stronger where I broke. And what that means is if you look at, if you take example of a fine china bowl, and when it breaks, you put a glue, and you can see the crack, but where you put the glue is the strongest part of the bowl. And so where I broke is the strongest part of me. And when you lose a child, you're not scared of death. I know we all say we're not scared of death, but literally I used to be scared of death. But now I'm not. And when you stop being scared of death, you get confidence and courage that you never had before. You set your priorities very differently, and you live your life differently. So I'm moving from the life of consequences to the life of convictions. And it's a plain difference to me. The second realm is the mission that Sonia left behind, and the sense of urgency I have, that I have to do something. I have to make a difference. I have to engage people. I was a very kind of a proud, on the edge of arrogant person who would never ask for help or ask for money or anything. And now I'm shameless. I do that. And that has given me a lot of character, really. Because I'm asking for someone else who you guys cannot see, who are helpless. And we are helping them. And thanks to you, you will may never see those girls, but you're changing their lives. And once you get the taste, it's like a muscle. Once you get a taste of doing that, and some of you in the audience have that taste. Once you get the taste of helping others, it is the most selfish act you can have, because it gives so much back to you. So coming back to our school, I promised you an update, not on my personal life, but on the school, so I will go ahead and do that. Our school has 200 kids. Out of that, 160 are girls and 40 are boys. And people has said to me, and even my own son says to me, why only girls? Because he has friends there. When he goes, he has friends who will not be in that school after 6th grade. So he's very upset about that. And a lot of Pakistanis have said that to me. Illiteracy is a problem across the gender. Pakistan is poor. Poverty is both for girls and boys. Why not? The answer is very simple. One is emotional answer, and one is I'll give you numbers so that you know why education of girls are a lot more important. One is it was mission of Sonia. She made it very clear that she wants to educate underprivileged girls. And she used to say that if my mother, her grandmother, had not left that village that you saw 70 years ago, and I had not left Pakistan to come here, she could have been one of those girls. And she never moved from that point. Because some people said, you can do it here. She said, yes, I will do it, but I need to start where my grandmother started. So her mission was clear. And there are a lot of donations that I lose from Pakistani people who are really kind of saying, no, you are being biased. The second part is, if you look at statistics, there are 31 million girls in this world who will not go to school. And more than half of those will never learn to write or read their names. There are 3 countries that have the worst statistics when it comes to girls' education: Ethiopia, Nigeria, and Pakistan. Nigeria has 5 million girls not going to school. Pakistan has over 3 million girls not going to school. And Ethiopia has 1 million. So we are in the worst category when it comes to girls. And I cannot tell you, if you focus on both, you cannot focus on girls. It's as simple as that. And if you look at this statistics, it gets more acute when you go to Kangra of this village. That village is very, very, and some of you know that part of the world, right? There are people here who know it's a very conservative part. And it's not just poverty that keeps girls at home. It is the fear that something will happen to the girls if they go out. Sonia went to that village. She wanted to understand firsthand what the situation is. She lived there for 6 weeks. And what she told me was very surprising. She said that it is the mothers who don't want their daughters to go to school. Because girls get married in that village 14, 15, 13 years old. They have children at the age of 16, 17. And while they are having children, their older daughters are like babysitters. And they do their housework. So mothers have no incentive to send their daughters to school. Surprisingly, fathers want their daughters to go to school, but they're scared something will happen to them. So if the school is at a distance where the girls have to go by rickshaw or by, somebody has to take them, girls will not go. So Sonia made a point and called me and said, I need 20,000. And this is a girl who never asked for anything. And she called me and she said, I need 20,000. I said, why? She said, I found a land right in the middle of the village and I can buy it for $20,000. So this school is really in the middle, so the girls can really walk up to it. There are no male teachers. They're all female except for one supervisor, who you will see in a video in a minute. And we make sure that the parents feel safe. We have a guard 24 hours. We have security cameras that are working 24 hours. So it's very important for us to make them feel good. And that's why they're bringing more girls. In the beginning, they would hide their daughters. Because it's a good school, they will push their boys. And we said, our policy is every boy brings 2 girls. And all of a sudden, our ratio changed. And now we have more girls and less boys. So that's something that is, to me, it's very clear that if we educate girls, it's socially, economically, and logical sense to educate them. If you want to end the poverty. And also young girls getting married. If you give them 5 years education, they will marry 5 years later. They will have children 5 years later. Their children have 50% chances of better life and healthier life, and they will live, because most young children die there because of lack of care. We have water filtration plant. One of the donors here had given us this contribution, and that water filtration plant is giving about 800 liters of clean drinking water to the village, which is amazing, because we don't realize the source of clean water is so scarce in these countries. And once they start drinking this water, they tell us that they're having less stomach problems. And there are lines and lines, and there people come from other villages. So whoever has donated it, you have started a Sadka Jariya, which will never end. And I thank you for that. We have 100% solar system. This is a village where there's a load shedding for 20 hours, and they get electricity only 4 hours a day. It is only our school that has 24 hours electricity. Fans and the computers are run uninterrupted. So all these things, we have taken children who did not have blackboard and they would sit on the floor in other schools to technology like computers, smart boards. Again, a donor here has given those to us. And now they have Kindles. So each child, we have 72 Kindles, e-readers for the children. So from grade 1 to grade 7, every child will have their own, with their name in the Kindle. And each e-reader has access to 1,000 books. So really we have, leapfrog everything from sitting on the ground to really going forward. And thank you to all of you that has happened. Have I missed anything, Manaz? Because you remind me when I miss. Or you tell me later on, you missed it.
No, we've covered it.
Yeah. Oh, I did miss one thing. Vocational center. So we have a vocational center for girls and women. And there have been 100 women who have been graduated, and you will see their work. They have been graduated from the vocational center, and these women are making clothes at home and have a source of income for the family. So here we are, and I don't want to take up too much time. I do want to open the floor for questions, because I want you to ask questions, clarification, anything you like. Everything is a fair play, and we have everybody here, from person who runs the school to person who runs the organization, to give you answers. And then I'll introduce another team for you, and then I'll show you a video. But I'd like you to ask me questions if there are any, or comment.
You said 10% of it goes towards administrative costs. Can you break that down for us?
So, yeah, 3.5% is our social media that we spend on. And you know, when we hire someone accounting, they do our accounting. So 91% goes there. I have exact numbers I can give you. But so if you hire a tax accountant, taxing, or your social media, or if we raise funds, it goes towards that. But it's a very good number. You will never find anyone that will have less than 10% or 9%. Now, as we grow, it might change. Every year it changes from 1 year, but this is the latest description that we're giving you.
So to what grade?
It's a 7th grade. And the reason we have very few people in 7th grade is that we're not taking any boys. If we took boys, we would have 400 children. So we are saying we will wait for the girls to either come from the other schools or get promoted from the 6th grade to go to 7th grade. So that's why we have. So our dream is not having a 500 schools. We don't have brick and mortar capacity. We want the school to go from primary to middle school, to go to high school, to college, and to the first, girls' university, so that girls are coming from the city to this university. Mena sent me a picture of university that was built in Bajor. Bajor is more primitive than it's built by armed forces. And she sent me the picture, and I said, this is my dream. This is my dream, that we have girls' university where all over the, city girls come to this university because it's such a high quality. And that's what I like to do. I want this poor place to be center of education.
So what is your ratio, teacher to students?
So we have 8 teachers. So there are about 25, 30 kids to each.
In the lower grades, not in the...
Yeah, and the higher grade is really good. The higher grade, we don't have a lot of people, right? So we have tons of, I don't know the exact number, but we have probably double the size of kids in the kindergarten and 1st grade, because all the new ones are coming. We also are telling people, if boys are coming from other schools, because we don't want to upset other schools, right? Those schools are saying they're charging fees, we don't charge. So we are saying that if kids are coming from other schools, we're telling them don't come, because we will charge you if you come, right? Because if you can pay there, that means you're not poor enough. So we are, to answer your question, the ratio in the 5th, 6th, and 7th, or even 4th, is very low, probably 10 kids to the teacher. But when it comes to kindergarten and 1, the ratio goes up. Also, our kids spend probably 2 years, because they start very young and they have to learn 2 languages, right? They're going from Pashto to Urdu to English, and you will see some kids doing that. So for them, the first 2 years is very tough, because at their home, nobody speaks Urdu. So how do you teach someone Urdu who has never spoken Urdu, whose parents don't speak? So some of these kids spend 2 years in kindergarten. That's why we have a lot more kids at the lower grades.
Iram, I have a question.
Yes.
So we've been in operation for now several years, right? About 3 years?
Oh, so, yeah, more than 5 years.
5 years? I just wanted to ask if the culture of Hangra has changed with the existence of the school there. And at one time we had difficulty bringing children in and girls in. And how has it influenced the whole community?
Yeah, very good question. because Sadia is another one who has been with us from day one. And we had some really rough times, right? Our school was bombed twice by Taliban's, right? And our water filtration plant was destroyed. Nobody died, but we lost part of the school, right? And we had to rebuild it. Because in the beginning, they were very skeptical of people coming in and talking about girls' education. So then we had to open the doors to boys, because they said, what are you teaching these girls, right? And you're taking these girls and you're making them unfit for our culture. So they were very skeptical in Taliban's. But slowly and gradually, and they said, why would anybody do this for us? They could not put their arms around the fact that somebody thousands of miles away would help these kids. So they always thought there was some ulterior motive. But now it has changed. Now they are protecting the school. They are coming at our doors and saying, take our boys. We're getting phone calls from parents saying, why are you not taking our children? Because we don't have space. So it's entirely changed from going from people saying, what's going on here, to saying, please take our children. Even the boys, because our standard is so high. So, sorry? Yeah, so good question. So our school is limited. It has limited room. So now we have 200, and one of the donors have generously given us money to build one room, extra room, and a bathroom. We had 2 bathrooms for 140 kids. So now we'll have 3 bathrooms and an extra room. But eventually we have to expand it to the next land. We have a land next to the school, and we would love to buy that land so we can expand it. Our school does not have any playground. In fact, there is no playground, no swings in the entire village. And children don't know what these things are. So our dream is, if we get the land, we use part of that land as a playground for the students.
What's the annual cost right now?
So per person, per child, it costs about between $300 to $350. But it does not include, because uniform, if we give 2 sets of uniform, shoes, sweaters, bags, because some of these kids don't even have clothes to wear. So they are very excited to have uniform. And then we have also, on top of that, medical checkup that we do. And don't forget, we also have a college scholarship program here. I know people just kind of, because these girls that we're giving, I know it's expensive college, but these are the girls we give scholarship. First of all, this country has given us a lot. A lot of us are first generation here. And all of us can look back and say, this country has allowed us to be who we are. So yes, Pakistan, where we were born, but this is a country that we need to give back. And there are a lot of young girls here who cannot go to school. They cannot get grants, they cannot apply for loans, and they're very poor. And they have other issues, right? So we have 2 girls that you saw today and their life history. So our program cost is not just that, but it's here too. And the college expense can go from $5,000 a year to $15,000, $20,000 a year. But it is about empowering girls. Those girls in Kangra will impact their lives, they will impact their families, and maybe community around them. But these girls are going to impact globally. They're going to make a difference that those girls cannot. So if people say, well, college is a luxury, no, these girls going to college and changing their life is really means something.
So what about the teachers? Like, are they well educated, or are they from Kangra? Or
That's a
where
good
are they
question.
from?
A very good question, and Manaz can help me. So interestingly, these teachers are mostly, except for principal, who moved out of the village, all of them come from the village. Now, these were the brave girls who went out of the village to get educated. And they are like BMA, they're highly educated. But then they came back. Boys never come back, right? But the girls come back. These girls came back and they stayed at home, but there's no jobs. So we are giving them the jobs. So most of them are from the village. Some of them are older, who may have passed the age of marriage, and others are very young, but they are all from there, highly educated. We are training them on an ongoing basis now that we have technology and Kindles.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That
And they go, and we do borrow training program from other establishment like TCF, and we send our teachers on a regular basis to be trained as well.
So you're paying them too, so that's like another.
Yes. So they're getting, and our salaries, Manaz and I go back and forth, but we give decent salaries. Yeah.
Medical camp you didn't cover.
Yeah, no, I mentioned passing. So we do have medical camp every year. And this year we'll have, so the more children are, we spend more money on them. We have their medical cards. And it's interesting, some of these kids are quite sick. There's one girl who had holes in her head, 4 holes in her heart. But her parents, we arranged for her to have operation free, because one of the donors in Karachi, in Islamabad, said they know a doctor who can do it. But it's so sad that the parents would not let her go and say, no, she'll get hurt in the surgery. And we know that this girl is going to die. And she's one of the top students we have. So I would call, and Manaz would call, and we would beg her. And there are 5 sisters, so obviously who cares about the girls? And one of them, if it goes away. She is, how old is she? 11? 12. She's 12. She's 12 years old. And you can tell her skin is gray. But Manaz said, what can we do? I talked to the mother. She disappeared on me. I talked to the brother. I begged everybody. Next day she came to school and said, no, I'm not going, because I'm scared of getting, unconscious. So there's a lot of, the cultural things there that still needs to go a long way. Yeah, yes, they need more education. They need more education. You have a question?
When the parents are not educated, how you overcome these problems? Because to explain them, send your kids to over here. What did you do? I think a lot of new people, they should know.
Yes. Interestingly, whether you're educated or not, as a parent, you want your sons to go to school. Maybe not daughter, but you definitely want your sons to go. So we didn't have to convince the parents to send their boys to school, but we had to convince to send their daughters. So it's interesting, and I have so much to show, but today I'm not, is that you will hear from them directly. The mother's talking about their daughter going to school, or the father talking about it, saying that I never went to school, I'm a daily laborer, but I want my children to have a better life than me, and this school has allowed us to do. Our chokidar son has been with us, and he could not afford to send him anywhere, and he would have been in the farm or doing small jobs, but he's there. So one thing we make sure is that we go after the poorest of the poor. Those girls and boys who would never have chance, and we take pains to make sure that, because there are kids who can afford to go to school, even if it's public school. So we go through vetting, we go to their homes, we knock at doors, we find out, we have social mobilizers whose job is only to make sure that those girls and boys who would never have gone to school, they they are all good people, all trying to improve this world in some way. So thank you. We're coming to the end, and I'm going to show you one video, and I want to introduce some special girls who have been part of Sonia Shah. So we have created what's called Young Ambassadors of Sonia Shah. And they're boys also, but today I think there's only one boy among them, and they're mostly girls. And the purpose of these girls are not just to volunteer, because anybody can volunteer. It's really about for them to create a network, to do extraordinary work, to really come together and help each other and support each other to be best in what they do, whether it's school or whether it's profession or communities. And you will hear from them in a minute. But I want to introduce the president of the team. Where is Momina? we will, and she will come in a minute after I show you the video. But Momina was introduced to me as a daughter of a friend, Naz, and she's so proud. And so when I met her, I said, she must have been dragged by her mother, and she's here. But the more I got to know her, I realized how high potential this girl is, how committed she is. She's an amazing girl in many ways, and I'm saying in front of you, that's okay. But she runs this young ambassador team. She doesn't take any prisoners. She's pretty tough to get things done, and I feel like she is a leader that we always wanted for our young ambassadors. And I'm quite sure that she'll be very successful. Now, talking about success, she's been accepted in a number of law schools, and she's going to start her school in August. And I'm sure that she's going to be a great attorney, but also she'll be a great leader of Sonia Shah. There's one young girl here that I want to mention. Where's Rory? She is so young that she cannot be even in the young ambassador. But this is a girl that I want to watch her grow. I want to know what she does as she grows older, because she heard me on NPR and she started collecting money for Sonia Shah.
Oh, wow.
She, on her birthday, and all of us on our birthday, we go and have a disco dance. She invited her friends to make goodie bags for each and every student in Kangra. With individual name and message for every student there, over 100 people. And that's all they did on her birthday. There's a lesson for us to learn for adults, that there is something to give back and not just celebration, on our birthdays. So she will become, inshallah, that's how we say, she will become part of our young ambassador, but how old is she, 11? She's 11 years old. So I truly believe that this organization was started by a 17-year-old girl, and it will be run by young people. We are here only to hold their hands, to give them direction, to support them. But I see in 10 years, you won't see me here. You may see Momina, you may see Yamna, you may see others sitting here talking about it. So with that, I'm gonna run the film, which is Assistant Commissioner of Education visited our school, and they do it by surprise. They don't tell you ahead of time, and we try to translate some of the things that are being said. The quality is not so good, and after that, I will give floor to our president, Momina. Okay, thank you.
So I just, one of the things I was thinking about when Erin was talking is time is our most precious resource because it's something you never get back. You can get back money, everything else but time. So why our time? Why are we giving up our time for this organization? And so in my speech, I just kind of want to touch on a few of the reasons why this organization. And don't mind if I get emotional, because I will. Okay, so good evening, everyone. Thank you all for being here tonight. What makes this different than the events that we do is you've come to get to know us. So we want you to meet the people behind the scenes, because what makes this organization different, as Aram said, is it's all run by volunteers. So we're giving up our most precious resource because we believe in this organization. So my name is Momina. I am the president of the Young Ambassadors Division. When I first joined the organization, I remember Aram played a clip from the Avengers. And since I love the Avengers, I was totally on board. It said that, she said she wanted to create a group of ordinary people so they could do something extraordinary. And I was like, well, okay, how does an ordinary person do something extraordinary? What is the measure of an extraordinary thing? And, you don't really have to look much farther than the founder, Sonia Shah. So to be young and open a school for young girls in a country you were born in but don't call home, to care that much about that place, and start this school is nothing short of extraordinary. So I was like, okay, if you want to do something extraordinary, you follow Sonia's footsteps. So I challenged myself to embody the values she had at that age that made her so different from other girls. Like, if you think about it, I don't even think it's an age thing. How many of you in the morning feel that thing of like, ugh, I don't want to wake up today? Raise your hand. You guys love waking up in the morning, really? Okay. Yeah, so, people are like, I don't want to look for a new job, it's too hard, I don't want to go out today and all of that. But what this organization has given me is motivation. I remember I was up really late, helping my mom, helping Aaron with an event. I was up till 5 in the morning, and there was a meeting the next day, and I still had to write out the schedule for the meeting, make sure everyone had their tasks, and I was like, oh, I got like 2 hours of sleep. I don't want to get up. And I thought to myself, and I really did say this to myself, what would Sonia do? She started this school, and we have been tasked to keep that school open. What would have happened if I slept in those few hours and didn't get the update from Yumna about our social media or Amna about our donor list? We would have missed out. We would have lost time. And that's why we're giving our time, because we are tasked with carrying on Sonia's dream. So, where am I now? As I work closely with these girls, I've noticed something, and it's that we're not just keeping Sonia's dream alive, we're keeping Sonia alive too. Aaron created a small army of Sonias, and as a 17-year-old girl, to keep a school open by yourself I can't imagine how hard that would have been. Imagine being 17 and running this school, right? She's not alone though. There's about 8 other Sonias that you're gonna meet tonight.
Okay, beta, just 1 minute.
Oh, okay.
So,
The tears are beautiful.
now you're all right.
Oh, yeah, I'm good, yeah. So, the world is no longer short one, Sonia. It's gained about 8, and you're going to get to meet them tonight. So, who are we? In short, we're a group. Oh, wait, well, yeah. Minus a few other people, but yeah, no, we're here. But who are we? In short, we're a group of ordinary girls doing something extraordinary. So, my name is Momina Khan, and I'm proud to say I am Sonia too. Okay, not done yet. So, if you can look over here, these are just pictures to back up what I'm saying. Basically, it's always important to know an organization's mission and values, and there's something I'm missing. Vision. Okay, can you go back to the mission? Nope, mission. There we go. So our mission is to engage, educate, and empower, as it says right there, underprivileged girls and women. Next slide, please. Our vision is a world where every girl and woman has a chance to change her life and the community around her through education and training. And our values. This is the thing I think that sets us aside from other organizations. We didn't come up with these values thinking like, okay, what do we like? What are words that sound good together? We picked these values after talking to Aram to find out more about Sonia. These were Sonia's values. What it took to start this school and what it took to achieve what she did at such a young age. Confidence, accountability, humility, resilience, dedication, courage, and authenticity.
And beauty.
And beauty, yes. We will add that. So now I want to give the floor to some of these girls so we can meet the girls who are carrying forward Sonia's legacy. I think, who's the first one? Nimra? Nimra, where are you?
Oh, I'm right here.
Oh, no. Yep, and
can do an introduction, yeah.
Alright. So, I have always heard that educate a woman, educate a generation. I am Nimra Irfan. I'm a big part of Sonia Shah organization, and I support it because I believe in making changes today that would transform tomorrow generations. Thank you.
Okay. Amna, you're next.
Okay, I'm far away too.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Amna Irfan, and I'm a part of Sonia Shah because I believe in empowering women, supporting their education, and advocating for their rights. So here I am trying to do something for the future generation, for ladies, women, girls, and hope to make a difference. Thank you.
All right, we love you.
Hello everyone, my name is Andra Hussein, and I am one of the recipients of Sonia Shah scholarship. I go to East West University. My dream is to become a nurse, and I am here tonight because Sonia did not forget girls who usually are forgotten in this world, and I could have been one of them. And I am Sonia too. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Sarah. I am Angela's cousin. I'm her first cousin. You would think probably that's why she's volunteering for this organization, to help this organization same way that they helped her cousin. But there are other reasons as well. I think a bigger reason, and that is education. My parents sacrificed 6 years of my life so far for not seeing me once, because I have been studying abroad over here. They have missed my presence back home, not being able to see me. They have missed the scent of when they hugged me and all of that. And I think just because of me to have better life opportunities, and that's education. If you do have the education, of course you'll have a better life. And of course, it doesn't mean that just because you are educated, you just by receiving a degree, you'll be educated. It's about widening your knowledge, about absorbing all the truth about life and people around you and people overseas, like those little girls back in Kangra. I thank you very much for all your donations, for all these years. Thank you. We are blessed. And we are so
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Yamna. I graduated high school in 2012, and so did Sonia Shah. I'm here right in front of you, but Sonia is not. And this is why I support SSO, Sonia Shah organization, because I support women's education, and I am Sonia too.
Hi, I'm Ruby. I'm 16 years old. I'm a sophomore at Walter Payton College Prep, and I first became affiliated with the Sonia Shah organization in the 7th grade. I raised money at my middle school, showing a documentary known as Girls Rising, and I raised money and ended up donating it to the Sonia Shah organization, and ever since then I have been working with them, and I think that the most important part and the most significant part of this organization to me is the personal connection I feel to it. I feel that knowing Sonia's personal story and being able to connect to that has really brought me closer to this organization and brought me closer to all these amazing young women that I've spoken to. So thank you to all of you so much for supporting us and for supporting Sonia.
Hi, my name is Julissa Martinez. I am the second recipient that Aram previously mentioned. I am currently enrolled at DePaul University with aspirations of becoming an immigration lawyer. I joined this organization when I learned and heard about Sonia's passion to make a change for women education, knowing that that was what she wanted to do, motivated me to continue her legacy in an honorable way with all these beautiful women I introduced to them this year. So thank you so much for all of your donations and for coming today.
They finally got it. Okay. All right. So before we get to the next slide, I guess I have to give a little backstory to how this next part happened. I was going over the values and everything, and like I said, I think the thing that sets our organization aside from anything else is that they're the values of a 17-year-old girl. So I took those values and I wrote a little poem for us. The poem is called I Am Sonia Too, and we're all going to perform it, hopefully like in sync and whatnot. So Aram, if you could hit the next slide, and then we're just gonna stand over here.
Put on the lights, like, no lights.
No, yeah, we're good. Okay, space bar, please. Okay. I'll rise to all occasions with confidence and grace.
I'll meet my fears with courage.
There's no challenge I won't face. If I ever should fall, I will always bounce right back up.
I'll strive to always to do my best and learn the skills I lack. I'll always be accountable and true to what's within.
I'll remember my humility in every loss and in every win.
I'll show my dedication in everything I do.
I embody all these values because
I am Sonia Too. That I wrote this poem within a few minutes, and I said, you're going to read it. And she's read it before also, but she's going to read now again.
Oh my God, I'm not used to this, so I've written everything. I'm not like all these young, beautiful girls who can say everything without, something with your approval before I start the poem. It's that very few people in our lives have the ability to inspire, motivate, and touch our hearts and souls. We may think of legendary speakers and, activists of the past and present, but to me recently, this inspiration came from an innocent young girl whom I never met, who no longer is with us in this material world, but lives in our hearts and in the selfless actions of every individual whose vision and work is seen today by all of us, manifesting itself in the form of Sonia Shah organization. I would like to read you all my little homage in Urdu, so honoring a 17-year-old Sonia's vision and Iram's dedication to it. But before I recite my poem, I want to make it clear that I'm not a poetess or a writer, and it came to me last fall, the night before the SSO gala. I had just finished praying my evening prayers, and I was still sitting on my prayer rug, and I had these words coming to me. Honestly, I really felt that they were coming from God. So I got up and quickly grabbed a pen and a paper and came back to my rug and started writing my thoughts. I pray that God protect us, strengthen us, and guide us to do greater deeds. Amen. May God accept Iram's loving and noble deeds towards humanity, and may she be the beacon of hope and inspiration for our youth, who are the torchbearers of the future. Well, here goes my poem. Sorry, folks, some of you who don't understand Urdu, it's in Urdu, but I have, tried a humble attempt to translate it in English also. So first in Urdu. Okay. So here it goes. The title is Tabir Khwab Sonia. Chale the hum dabe kadam leke ek khayal. Socha na tha ke ban jayega ek karwan bemisal. Hoti rahe rahmat khuda ki is pe. Ke na aaye kabhi zawal is pe. है ये एक नन्ही सी गुड़िया का ख्वाब कि पूरा करे खुदा माँ का प्यार लाजवाब रहे जिंदा सोनिया बेटी का नाम दे दिया गुमनाम बच्चियों को हौसले का पैगाम। आओ मिलकर दुआ करें कि फले फूले ये काम, न आए इस पे कभी भी गम की शाम। आमीन।
वाह रे वाह, बहुत अच्छा। अब आप भी शायरा बन गई। चालू रहिएगा।
Had no idea our thought would become a caravan beyond example. May God keep showering His blessings on it, and may it never see a doom. This is a dream of a little doll, and may God fulfill it, and the infinite love unheard of a mother. May Sonia's name be heard forever, for she has given a message of hope and strength to the girls never heard of. Come, let's all pray. May this venture bear innumerable fruits, and that may it never see an evening of sorrow. Thank you.
To mark your calendars on May 25th for our interfaith iftar that we will be having, and we would love for you all to join us for that at Shalimar. Okay, and so I would now like to call Mr. Wasim Iftikhar to introduce our artist. He is a retired executive from Abbott, an art and music connoisseur, community activist, and a very great supporter of the Sonia Shah organization.
Let me mention two things to you. I think those are food for thought when we leave this room. I'm talking while the musicians are preparing. Now, the two idioms that come to mind, one I will always remember. It says, adversity to some is what wind is to fire. My friends here, and I hope that you'll give them a great applause. My main singer here is Vidya Kandagar. She also happens to be my teacher. Once in a while at my old age I make sure the ragas are correct, and she really defines those. She has been in music from the age of six years, and she has constantly worked very, very hard with very well known classical Hindustani singers. So there is a difference between those who have learned music and applied it to the mathematics and those who just sing for the sake of. She is truly a mathematician. She's a student of PharmD. She's already completed a PharmD, and she still is. Also, she came on scholarship, or she has a scholarship in music. So Vidya, you will hear. Thank you very much for making time. Let's hear a round of applause for them. I should have introduced him first, but I have not done so. But let me just write down what I need to tell. Here is a tabla player, Mr. Kani, who has really worked for a very long time with musicians like Zakir Hussain, musicians like Ali Akbar Khan. These are legends of music, ever-living legends, and our gentleman Mr. Kali has been performing with them. So it is really an honor to have such a renowned person amongst us. So you'll hear him. And certainly last but not the least is my dear friend with whom I have had the privilege of accompanying. I'm fine. Basically he has been really, I just want to mention something about him. He is local along with Vidya, and he has played tabla and harmonium with almost every major artist that has come here. So Vihar Bhai is a very well known person here, and you will hear the music. So without further ado, I'm just going to conclude and hope the music will start soon. Rais, you want to say something? Okay, I'm done. So this is a pleasant surprise. Thank you very much.
Assalamu alaikum, good evening. My name is Raisi Siawar. I'm not giving a speech, so please don't worry about it. I just wanted to say how much I admire Iram Shah. And this dream was started by her daughter, but she continued. And I had so much joy to see that we have so many more Sonias here. So just give them a huge round of applause, because like the president said, they give their time, they're just so valuable, and most of us are not willing to do that. We want to, but most of us are not willing to give our time, selflessly, and that's what all these ladies have been doing. So really give them a huge round of applause. Thank
सबसे बढ़ जाते हैं। लड़कों के सब किस्म की जो चीजें हैं उनके लिए महसूस किया जाती हैं, लेकिन औरतों के लिए कुछ नहीं है। हमने एक स्कूल शुरू किया दिल्ली में, जो मुस्लिम्स का एरिया है उसको ओखला कहते हैं। तो वहाँ पे 13 साल की लड़की जब हो जाती है तो उसको घर में बैठा लेते हैं कि भाई वो बच्चों को देखेगी, और स्कूल से छुड़ा देते हैं। और तालीमियात जो हैं वो ज़्यादातर अरबी में हैं, तो वो थोड़े वक्त मौलाना उनको कुछ रटा देते हैं। वो खुद इतने जाहिल और काहिल होते हैं कि उनको कुछ नहीं पता होता, रट्टू तोते की तरह थोड़ा सा वो पढ़ लेते हैं और उसके बाद लड़कियां वापस आ जाती। तो जामिया मिलिया जो है एक बहुत बड़ी यूनिवर्सिटी है और दिल्ली में है, और ये इसका जो शुरुआत हुई है वो कई मुसलमान जो फेमस थे वहाँ के, उसमें कदवाई भी थे, उन लोगों ने ये शुरू किया था। और इस वक्त वो कॉलेज है और यूनिवर्सिटी है, और बहुत से बच्चे, पहले तो ज़्यादातर मुसलमान थे लेकिन अब इन लोगों को भी कोटा दिया गया है, इन लोगों को, एंड दे आर डूइंग वेरी वेल। एक बनिया था वहाँ पे, उसके 3 लड़के थे और सारा जो था वो सब मुसलमान थे वहाँ पे। बिलीव मी, उस बनिए ने अपने अपने बच्चों को इंजीनियर और डॉक्टर बना दिया, और मियाँ भाई जो थे वो जूती चटखाते हुए चाय पीते हुए नजर आते थे। तो ये सब क्या है हम लोगों के अंदर कि आगे बढ़ने की कोई ख्वाहिश ही नहीं, और खासतौर से औरतें, और शादी हो जाए हमारी। यही तो ईरान में मैंने देखा कि ग्रेजुएट हो जाए, लेबनान में यही देखा, I want to graduate and get married to a rich man. That is the ambition. लेकिन मैंने ये देखा है कि जितनी लड़कियां पाकिस्तान में बंधी हुई बैठी रहती हैं, यहाँ पे आके वो खिल गई हैं। उन्होंने कितनी मेहनत की है, और वहाँ पे वो सिर्फ तरह तरह की जो हरकतें वहाँ होती हैं उसकी वजह से। हिंदुस्तान में तो कॉलेजेस वगैरह बहुत हैं, मगर मुसलमान जो हैं वो खुद नहीं आगे बढ़ते। ये नहीं है कि उनके साथ कोई इतना बड़ा डिस्क्रिमिनेशन होता है, लेकिन बस उन लोगों को यही है कि एक चाय की दुकान, एक फ़ोन की दुकान, एक इंटरनेट की दुकान, ये खोल लेंगे। कुछ है ही नहीं उनके अंदर। तो बहुत शुक्रिया आपका कि आप इतना ज़बरदस्त काम कर रही हैं। एंड